Welcome to another episode of Design on Purpose. I'm here with my coach, Peter Forneck, Kettlebells and Conditioning Asia.
That's the company, yep.
Yeah, and Bang Tao, MMA and Muay Thai, and also Cotter Sports.
Cotter Sports, that's where we are right now. Exactly.
Yeah, it's very cool. So welcome, Pete. I've been trying to get you on this podcast for a little while. We haven't managed to tee it up, but here we are. Can you give us a little intro about give people a bit of context about what you do and who you are?
That's a big question. But I guess I just summarize where I'm at right now. So I came here to Phuket, Thailand, almost 9 years ago now, with that dream of training Muay Thai in Thailand, and I was studying sport back at the time, and I had that idea of becoming a strength and conditioning coach for fighters, which I did for quite some time down at Tiger Muay Thai. Met my current team there. During COVID, we moved up to the north of Phuket, Bang Tao area, and that's the name of the gym, Bang Tao Muay Thai and MMA. But in this time, I opened my own company. I wanted to, I just realized I'm not 25 anymore. I wanted to grow and go my own way. I'm very happy I'm still with the boys, but I opened Kettlebells and Conditioning Asia. Just saw a massive opportunity of teaching kettlebell in Asia. Once a week I'm doing this, or once a day I'm doing this at Bang Tao Muay Thai. The rest is done online and in certifications. And I mean, you come here for a while, you can see the areas developing so much.
Yeah, it's changing a lot.
This brings a lot of opportunities, and I was just looking around what is missing. That's how Kaito Sports happened. Boxing gloves, supplements, fitness wear. So just stuff that guys and girls like you and me meet when we come here on a holiday.
Yeah. No, it's very...
Maybe that is a little bit of an intro in a nutshell, you know?
Yeah, it's very cool. I mean, I know the context that I know you in is really the kettlebells context, you know, like doing the kettlebells class at Bang Tao every day, 12:45.
12:45, exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, kettlebells for me, like when I came here to Phuket, like to train, I came here for the MMA, Muay Thai and Jiu-jitsu, and I never really thought about kettlebells. I have a few kettlebells at home actually, so it kind of was in my subconscious.
Did you open it, use it to keep the door open?
No. I used the kettlebells, but like to the level at which I knew, like, you know, basic swings, squats, whatever. But I didn't really understand, the diversity of the kettlebell and what you can actually do with kettlebells, and like really how to train kettlebells until I came to Bang Tao, and then I just rolled into one of the classes. I just thought, that'll be interesting. Let me give it a go. And then I ended up getting addicted to it.
How long ago was that?
That was in December in 2023.
2020, and we are in 2025. And then you just did the level 1 certification last week.
Yeah, it was very cool. I love that. And I'm glad I actually only did the day one, because I think like there's already so many things to integrate in there. Like I kind of just want to take that away and like play around with that before I do the next bit.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. I mean, for everyone listening, I was just teaching a super seminar, so level 1 and level 2. The reason why I do that is because the gym I'm working at Bang Tao, it's a holiday destination, so people come here for a week or two. Some stay a little longer. But as you might know, if you want to get level 2 certified, level 1 is the prerequisite. Means if I want to teach a level 2 certification, I need enough people here who are level 1 certified. And that's a problem, because you do holiday whenever you want to do it, and the others when they want, right?
Yeah.
So the super seminars is one weekend of 6 hours on Saturday, 6 hours on Sunday. And it is a lot. You learn a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Especially level 1, where I teach you everything you need to know about one kettlebell, or the main 6 lifts. That builds the base and foundation for level 2. So the Sunday is almost just the same stuff with heavier and double kettlebells. So you can take it, but
it's just interesting. Like there's some little things, even like doing the class today, like I was trying that different swing, you know, with a thumb in.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be really good for me, like my thoracic spine and stuff. So I'm going to play around with that. And can you tell us a bit like about kettlebells? Like why? because I know you obviously you love kettlebells. You're always talking about kettlebells. Why do you love the kettlebell so much, and why did you fall in love with the kettlebell training?
So I'm much more than just the kettlebell.
I know, but but the kettlebells is your thing. I know.
Absolutely. No, I started when I was 20. That's when the first time I touched a kettlebell. I remember it was 24 kg, and that felt so heavy, especially if you compare to any other tool, let's say the barbell. The Olympic bar with no weight on is 20 kg. And once you train a little bit, you don't even use an empty bar to warm up. You always put, 10 kg on each side, so 40 kg to warm up. And then you pick a weight that is 24, and it's so challenging. I found that very interesting. But it was a combination of just experience, especially bad experience or injuries, that let me use the kettlebell, or let me turn away a little bit from heavy weightlifting, which I really still enjoy. But I think that is one big advantage of the kettlebell, that the wear and tear, if done right, is uncomparable low to heavy strength training like you would do with a barbell or dumbbells or on a machine. But so what brought me to the kettlebell? Definitely injuries. Like I had 10 years ago in 2014, I broke my spine in an injury.
How'd you do that?
How did I do that? I'm not sure if I ever shared that, but it was. So I was one of those kids climbing every trees and jumping from, I don't know, high walls and all that stuff, and apparently had a stress fracture during my puberty, when you grow and your bones are soft. Anyways, I was back squatting heavy 5 times a week. I was in Australia back then, and I just got a stress fracture. So in my thoracic spine, one of my vertebrae, I had a stress fracture just from the heavy load. Heavy load, and then squatting 4 or 5 times a week, and I got so strong so quick that my passive structure, like bones, couldn't keep up with my strength gains.
Okay.
Because passive structures like bones, tendon, ligaments, that takes up to a year to adapt. And back then I was 24. I was just not the smartest guy. That's just what it was, right? You're full of testosterone. You want to conquer the world. And you feel you're getting stronger, so you put on more weights. Long story short, many doctors told me I can never do sport again. Like the ones that had a positive mindset said, you can maybe do yoga and aqua jogging.
No, that's not for you.
Yeah, that's not for me, exactly. So what I found out very quickly was that the one thing I should not do fixed me the most, which was rotation.
So they told you no rotation?
Yes. Yeah. I remember the last doctor I went to, he wanted to charge me a couple of hundred Australian dollars. But all he did is he looked at me and said, "Yeah, you fucked. Couple of $100." And I said,
"Great, no." Cheers, mate.
No, and so I moved out and went to the next coffee shop and took my phone and booked a trip to Thailand to train Muay Thai. Arriving here, as I said back then, it was Tiger Muay Thai. Arriving here, I was not able to train Muay Thai. I just couldn't hold the clinch and the impact with my injury. And at this time, the injury was maybe 5 months old, 6 months old. And so I did something that is called Krabi Krabong. That's the ancient art of sword fighting. So they use 2 sticks. It's a little bit like Kali. The stick is just longer.
Yeah.
Just saying that because you are in Indonesia. And the more I was doing this, the rotation around the spine and hitting those swords, those wooden sticks, the more I opened up and the better I felt. And then it took me a total of maybe 1.5 years before I could go back to strength training. I never stopped. I was always moving, even with the injury. But the kettlebell just felt amazing because I think you just said it a couple of minutes ago. When you move the kettlebell single-handed and you try to think a little bit outside the box, that you not just should stay straight and move like a robot, you create a lot of rotation around your spine. And that just felt amazing. And I got fitter, I got stronger, I put on some size, and that all through the kettlebell.
Yeah.
So that's how I found it to me.
You got did you get into the kettlebell at Tiger?
No. Like I said, first time I touched it when I was 20. Then
but I mean, when you really got into the kettlebell after the injury.
So after the injury, I booked a one-way ticket to come back to Thailand. That was 2016. Started working at Tiger Muay Thai. And there I was teaching a lot of things. Olympic weightlifting, CrossFit, an S&C class. But I was always, like I said, I was always training with the kettlebell. I felt really good back then, had no problems at all. And really getting into the kettlebell when it comes to competing and working, that kind of happened during COVID. And I already knew the man, Steve Cotter. He still is my mentor and coach, but some of you might know that he recently passed away. Very, very sad.
Well, it was just really recent, wasn't it? In the last couple of months?
3 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago.
Amazing. Yeah, this is, it's life. What should you say? It's just teaches you more.
It's hard
to live and appreciate, because he was one of those guys I really looked up to. Like when I want to learn something, I always want to learn it from the best. But before I decide, yes, I want to learn this, I want to learn that, I look at those men and I want to see who they are when they are in their 40s and 50s. And a lot of athletes, they're not in good condition when they are 40, 50, especially when you try, let's say when you're a strongman or a powerlifter, without talking bad about that sport, not at all, but they put all their heart and their blood and their body into that sport, and they all have stress fractures in their spine. They have hip replacements when they get older, and that's just no one I wanted to be, especially because I always did strength training for sport. I wanted not to be strong on the bar. I wanted to be better in Muay Thai. I wanted to be better in Jiu-jitsu or whatever sports I'm playing. And so during COVID, I did a Zoom certification with Steve Cotter. And he turned the light bulb on, because he was in America back then, I think California, and we had like 13 hours time difference.
What time were you doing the certification?
Well, it started at 11 p.m. and I was swinging the kettlebell in my living room until 5 or 6 in the morning. And I was the only one who was doing this. So he gave a little bit of a shout out to me, because everyone else was maybe in Europe or in America.
Yeah.
He said, and big shout out to Pete over there in Thailand. We don't often have people from Asia joining because of the time difference. And I said,
there's a gap in the market.
There's a gap in the market. So I did a little of research, and there was just no kettlebell king in Asia. I mean, there's a lot of kettlebell. Not in Thailand. It's growing right now. And I believe that I have a positive impact on that. There are a lot of good guys in Korea. And there's something happening, but there was just very little education happening.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to the style of kettlebell that I'm teaching.
What's the style?
So my style is it's called Kettlebells Conditioning, right? So I didn't want to move into one direction, but there are a few styles that are using the kettlebell, or they took the kettlebell and they put it into a powerlifting frame.
Oh yeah,
do proper strength training, and they don't want you to rotate around your spine because it's not good for you, or it's very up and down like a machine.
Yeah.
Then there's the sports style, the competition style, which is very, very technical, and you try to move the kettlebell as efficient as you can, as often as you can, over a longer period of time. That could be from 5 minutes without dropping the kettlebell, to 10 minutes, as what the amateurs and the pros do, all the way to, there are half marathons and marathons where you don't put the kettlebell down for 30 minutes. And to quote Steve Cotter, he said something that really stick with me, and I believe it to be true. The best athletes are not the strongest, not always the strongest. The best athletes are often the best movers. So if I'm stronger than you, but you move better, and we do jiu-jitsu together, we fight together, or even the kettlebell, my strengths will fade. And if I'm not winning against you within those first few minutes, maybe, that I'm so much stronger than you, then my form will break down and I will get more tired and tired. And I just like the idea of being a great athlete, and you need to be a good mover for this.
Yeah.
Because there will always be someone stronger than you. And so I use the kettlebell, or kettlebells and conditioning is a combination out of this. A combination because I think both, or every system has something good and every system has a weakness. And for my interpretation, I try to take all the strengths from different systems and ideas and philosophy. Make no style your style, to quote Bruce Lee, who's over there on the wall. And
make no style your style.
Yeah, make no style your style.
That's cool.
If you just stick to one thing, then you don't know what else is there. Like, how much do I know? I know so much, right? So I try to be open for everything. And then I just wanted to make it accessible for as many people as possible. Like, my mom did my level 1 certification. She's swinging kettlebells at home, and I think that's pretty awesome. I believe everyone should have a kettlebell in their living room, because it's
really accessible, isn't it?
It's very accessible. It's on one side a complex tool, but on the other side, once you learn, it's a very simple tool. And if you just have, like today, I trained for 7 minutes. You saw me. I put a timer on, and I was just doing clean and jerks, a long cycle with 10 reps per minute. And then after 7 minutes, I put the kettlebell down, and it's kind of done, So,
yeah. No, I've gotten a lot out of it. I love it. Like, it's, it's addictive, and like, I've just gotten a real appreciation for it. And like, even when I went to my my gym in Bali in Nirvana, they had, when I first got there, they had the shittest kettlebells. They had like these rusty fucking things in the corner or whatever. I said, guys, like, we need to get a set of kettlebells. And they were really good, actually. Like, I came in a few days later and they had a whole new set of kettlebells, brand new, like all the weights. Or they only really have up to 24 kilos, which is fine.
That's good.
That's good. Good enough for me. And now I'm swinging there doing kettlebells like a few nights a week. And now people are starting to like join me for kettlebells. It's so good. They're like, "What are you doing there?" I'm like, kettlebells.
I think that's
the best.
That's what I see if I look into the crowd in my class. It's not the typical young man, young woman who looks always super fit and does bodybuilding or does whatever kind of fitness sport, let's call it. It's often it's almost a new way for people who have never touched a barbell or a strength machine to find their way into strength training. I think everyone who watches a podcast about fitness and longevity and health knows how important quality tissue like muscle mass is, when actually in every stage of your life, but especially once you get a little older. And I totally understand that a lot of people, especially women, don't want to just sit down, push a heavy weight, count to 10, and then sit around for 5 minutes and do it again. I like that. I'm a simple man. I'm a monkey. I get really relaxed if I, like, once a year or once a month, I go to Bangkok and I go into this big bodybuilding gym. It's called Muscle Factory. And I just switch my head off and I count to 10 and I feel the pump and I enjoy that. But I totally understand where people say, you know what, in my leisure time, I'm not sitting there and count to 10 and then do it again and again. But if you pick the kettlebell, it's maybe a little bit more complex, maybe a little bit more sexy, maybe there's more to think about, there's more to do there. You focus on your breathing, on your hand and
it's a bit of like technique. A flow like you get into, right? Yes. I like so that. It's meditative.
Exactly. You don't need to count to 10. You get into that flow state, what you just said. It's meditative. And I feel like especially people who never touched the kettle, who never did strength training. And then I see especially women who never did strength training really seem to find joy in doing this. And they all leave and they ask me, Pete, like, where can I buy I want to keep doing this. Where can I buy a kettlebell? What should I buy? 16 kg, 12, and yeah, then a year later they come back and they look amazing, and they told me, yeah, I kept swinging the kettlebell, and that's really cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. No, it's helped me a lot. What was the when we were talking about, like, I had Anwar on last night, right? And we were talking a little bit about
Anwar.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome guy. I think he should be on way more podcasts, because he has so much to share, and more people need to hear him.
Oh no, I agree, and like, he was great. We had some really interesting points, like, we kind of worked through, but he's talking about, like, moving well. Obviously, that's his thing, like movement and mobility, and like, I think I sent you something that Naudi put up once. Like, he was like, he does his, like, he trolls people all the time, but he was like, he put something up about kettlebells, and I was like, oh, is he going to troll the kettlebell? But he didn't. He's functional patterns, Naudi. Yeah. But he was like, the comment was he likes kettlebells because it gets you to move better. He thinks it gets people moving better. So like, and I've noticed that too, like, I've gone through this whole process with my posture and everything. Obviously, I still got a lot of work to do, but like, you notice that, and you showed us that in the KCA level 1, right? Like that spiral, that whole movement with the spiral and the rotation and everything,
action,
everything. And like you're saying, you don't really get that from barbell exercises, or
you also don't want that.
Yeah, well, you don't want to move your spine under a heavy load like that,
exactly.
Right?
And like one of the main, or one of the big adaptations that happen if you, for example, do heavy back squats and heavy deadlifts, and that is needed, is stiffening of the spine. And that allows it to squat heavier and heavier.
Yeah.
And that's what you want if you want to be a very successful power lifter. First of all, do you want that? That's a question you have to answer for yourself. And if we talk about well-being and living a pain-free life, a stiff spine is not a good idea.
Yeah. Because, I mean, that's something that I look at too, like you mentioned it the other day, like looking at how different athletes move later in life, Like, I don't want to be a yogi. I don't like how yogis end up looking up, later in life. I don't want to be a power lifter. CrossFitters, to me, they also look very boxy, don't look comfortable in their bodies.
Yeah. The thing is, in Germany, we have a saying, like, you don't discuss taste. You don't discuss about it. Like, if I ask you like pizza and you say no, then conversation over. Why should I try to change your mind about pizza, right?
No.
And then when it comes to fitness, like, for example, I have to say, because CrossFit had this massive cycle, right? Like, it was super popular, and then people start talking bad about it. And at some point I was one of them, because that's where I got hurt the most, and I kind of just let it out. But I also know CrossFit, for example, made the kettlebell very, very popular again.
Yeah, that's where I was doing kettlebells, was in CrossFit, but it was very different to what we do.
And that's amazing. It's just, that's what I teach in my class. Like, you should look further ahead than just that 60 minutes of today's training. And one of my slogans, let's say, that I scream around and have no voice anymore, right? And you for sure heard it. That no one ever got strong by doing stuff fast. First you get strong, and then you can start moving fast. And in many sports or a lot of people, like me when I was young, you get too excited and you get strong too fast, or you move too fast with heavy load. You don't have the prerequisites, and you get hurt. And in CrossFit, for example, it's the sport of fitness. You want to be faster than me in whatever fitness exercise we choose it, and that is great, as long as you have the prerequisites, the skill, the strengths, maybe the stiff spine, whatever the requirement is. And I can just tell everyone, go find a role model. Find someone who already lived the life of that sport you play in, or you want to play, and then pursue this if that's the person you want to be.
Yeah.
If you want to be the strongest man, the strongest woman in the world, the kettlebell is the wrong tool for you. That's for sure. If you want to be Mr. Olympia, if you want to be a body, kettlebell is the wrong tool for you.
Yeah.
It's just a tool. And with everything we do, there are upsides and there are downsides, and you just have to be willing to accept that.
Yeah. And I mean, you're doing a bit of other stuff too, obviously, like, like you said, you're not just kettlebell guy. And I know you got your purple belt the other day.
My purple belt.
So congratulations.
Thank you for this. I guess with purple belt, you're officially dangerous now. You can't hide anymore, And
are people a bit more rough with you now that you got your purple belt?
No. I think we have a great level of roughness at Bang Tao.
Just a general level of roughness.
We have a great level of roughness, and of course, you have a lot of training partners who travel here that you don't know yet. And the first couple of rolls or first couple of times you connect and feel each other out. You figure out how rough he wants to be, or what do you?
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful sport.
Are you doing gi as well?
Yes, but I think last year, 2024, I was wearing the gi maybe 5 times. Like, we're definitely an MMA gym, we're a wrestling gym, and we're much more of a no-gi gym than a gi gym. And I think the gi is amazing. I always enjoy it.
It's so hot though here, isn't it?
It is hot in
so much laundry you got to do as a jiu-jitsu athlete.
But it's just, even if let's assume it's not hot here, right? I would still choose no gi, not because I think it's better than gi or whatever, but I just have so much time, and I want to invest my time into something where I believe it brings me the most return of my investment, and that's no gi for me.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I love it. And what about this other thing you did recently? The
Under Armour Combine.
Yeah, what can you tell us about that? Because you were training for this, and you were making some interesting content there too about like leading up to this.
Oh yeah. So I started a new YouTube series, which is called Train to Compete. Train to Compete is pretty much exactly what it says. It's not train to look good. It's not training to release your lower back pain. It's just about train to compete. Like, everything I've did there, I'm gonna do in the future is to make you faster, make you jump higher, make you stronger, make you ready to compete. And the Under Armour Combine is happening here in Thailand, and I know it's over in Singapore and Hong Kong, I believe, as well.
But what is that? Is it like CrossFit?
No, so it's very, very similar to the NFL Combine.
NFL, like
American
football. Okay.
And the combine is, let's call it a fitness test everyone has to do. And there they test your athletic abilities. How strong are you, which is the bench press? How fast can you sprint, the 40-yard dash? There's a vertical jump. We had a reaction test. There's a cone test.
Okay.
Cone run, where they measure let's say your agility. How fast are you in change of directions? And we had the sled push as a power exercise, and I've done that now for the 3rd time. I still haven't won it.
Are you improving though?
Yes, yeah. I'm improving. First time I was only training kettlebell, and I went there for fun. Placed 6 out of 400 people.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Is it by age group?
No.
Just open
no
men's.
Age, no weight group. Let's say the lighter person. There's an endurance run, a shuttle run, which is designed for you to die if you really push it right.
Is it the beep test?
The beep test, exactly.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I hate that.
We all do. But so in theory, the lighter person, let's just say, could be better in endurance, and then the heavier person could be better in
strength.
The strength exercise. So it's a great test, and it's cool because it's almost the same. That's the one thing I don't like about it, because they change it a little bit every year, so you can't fully compare. Obviously, to compare, you need to standardize a test. Right? So the last 2 years, they changed the agility drill, the agility test. Or this year, what they changed mainly was the setup of the competition. So there was a lot of time pressure. You had almost no time to rest. in between exercises.
All right, so your recovery, you got to...
Yeah, that was my downfall. That was definitely my downfall because, I'm more of a power athlete, and I need a little bit more rest.
Yeah.
I remember when I went to that beep test, I think I dropped out after, like, right at the end of level 9. And last year, and I was way fitter this year. Last year I went to level 11. So
Okay.
there was the whole level 10 missing. And that was because I had 2 minutes rest between the pull-ups and whatever I've done before, and then the beep test.
The beep test, the horrible
But again,
beep
everyone
test.
has to do the same stuff, but it's hard to compare yourself with last year, because your numbers definitely suffer if you don't get the rest.
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, it's great, I think.
And JP did it with you?
JP did it with me. Great to have a training partner. It's definitely...
But it's an individual thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Yes, you can sign up as a team, but if you and I and 2 more people sign up, they just accumulate. We just accumulate our overall points, so we don't have to do anything together.
Yeah. And
it's nice to do.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed watching your training stuff. It was funny. I think I made a joke about it. There was like a sprint you're doing. I was like, oh yeah, he's running to Monday night schnitzels.
Yeah. There was the all-you-can-eat schnitzel on Monday night.
Yeah.
It was definitely a day that I never missed.
No, I know.
Because, when you train to compete, your diet is all you can eat.
Yeah, you got to have a schnitzel.
I'm a hard trainer anyways. My diet is all you can eat.
Yeah.
I drink a lot of sugary drinks, and I drink a lot of protein shakes, and I eat steaks every day. And on Monday is all you can eat schnitzel.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And Pete, what about your community? I know because you're building out now. You've got your KCA Skool community.
Yeah.
You were on Train Heroic, and now you're moving across to Skool. How's it going building out your Skool community?
So let's maybe start there. I never thought I'm going to be an online coach. I always thought this is not the right way to deliver training. And I thought it's not a good way, because like how can I coach you if I'm not next to you? Yeah, what are you paying me for? But I was proven wrong. I was doing many online seminars. I have online coaches myself for Kettlebell, for the Under Armour Combine. My coach Chris Moore in Germany always does with me. So you can be a great coach online, which is really cool. And one thing that always annoyed me with my job, if it was at Tiger Muay Thai or at Bangtan Muay Thai, is that people like you, they come once a year for a week, maybe 4 weeks, maybe 2 months, and then I don't see you for 10 months. And maybe you come and you had this amazing kickstart and your motivation, you lost a couple of kg and you look amazing, and then you go home and you're back into your old life. The friends who like to drink a beer with you, the work that doesn't allow you to go home on time, and then you can't make it to the gym or whatever it is, right? And that was kind of frustrating, because I put my heart and my time and my energy in you, and then a year later you come back and
you're like double the size.
Yeah, exactly, you double in size. And so I was looking for a way of not only training you while you're here, but also making you competent. That's what I try to do every day in my kettlebell session. If you just think about the time, we have 60 minutes, and often we train anywhere around 25 minutes, sometimes 30, but that's the whole working time. So everything that happens around us is, let's call it education. I try to make you competent. So when you leave, you can do it on your own.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I thought, okay, we have to go online, and I want to connect people, everyone who trains with me, into that Skool community. I think Skool is a great platform for this. Keep people connected, and keep educating them, giving them a plan, a training plan that they can follow, making sure there are tutorials and up-to-date things that I keep posting in this community. So if I see you again 12 months later, you improved. That would be amazing. And then you spend a few weeks with me, and I put a little bit more on top, and then you can leave and continue with more, you know?
Yeah.
So that was the main idea behind it, because what can I change in your life in a week or 4 weeks? That's just a start. That's just you looking through the door, but we have to make sure we open that door and you go into that room and you discover whatever's in that room of fitness and training. And that's what I do on the Kettlebells Conditioning online community.
And how's it going? Because because I'm building a Skool community as well. I've been researching a lot. Have you been going to any of these Alex Hormozi webinars and things on Skool?
No. After you said that, I definitely want to
I'll
join and watch that free content. I like Alex Hormozi a lot. I read his book, or his 2 books.
Yeah, I've read them too. Yeah.
What is it? $1 million
offer and $1 million leads.
Like
yeah,
1 million leads or whatever. Yeah. He has so much awesome free content.
Mick's right there.
Mick is right there.
Yeah. So you want to come in here?
You want to come in?
Yeah, come in. Just walk through the microphone, the cameras. Sorry, Mick.
Yeah, so come in.
Sawadee-ka. No, that's cool. We're just in the middle. We got a little bit to go here. Is that cool? Just watch the cameras. We'll you better stay in here now till we're done. Can you? Or you gotta go? What's your deal? Oh yeah, okay.
So back to the question.
Okay, so
Alex Hormozi, the free stuff.
The webinars, like, because I've been going to these webinars, the Alex Hormozi ones on Skool, and I've also been doing the master. I did the Skool masterclass and stuff. But like the thing about Skool communities is that you're just not selling an online course or delivering trainings. It's actually, there's another aspect to actual community building. And I think that's where the value is, because I think that's what's so cool about it, is because then you take yourself out of eventually you can remove yourself in a way, and the community starts supporting each other. You know what I mean? So it's actually,
I go.
Yeah, I go, you go. It's like it is a business in itself. People actually sell Skool communities,
Yeah, I really enjoyed them when you said that the other day, to focus more on the community aspect of your community, right?
Yeah.
What are you offering in there? What kind of videos do you upload, and how can you give them more content, more education? And that is a really good point. And I think that is why gyms like Bang Tao work so well, because you're part of a tribe. You have your colors, you have your name, you wear the T-shirts, and you stay in contact with those people, and you keep coming back. And that's now starts happening with KCA, with my with Kettlebells and Conditioning. And I want to keep those people together, because sport is more than just burning calories or looking good or sweating. It's you find friends there, and those friends have similar goals. They go into the same direction, and they also have similar problems. And having a friend with a similar mindset, and maybe a friend who just solved that problem, and you have access to them, is really, really cool. And that's just the time we're living in. You have those communities online now, a little less in person.
What about Steve Cotter's community? Like, do you tap into that at all? Does he have what? Because he was doing certifications, obviously, right, Steve Cotter. Yeah. So like, how is that all staying together? Because I also had last year I also had a teacher pass away, sadly, but it's been a real, like, the whole community is kind of like disbanded in a way. I mean, COVID was a big part of that. But like, it's really important to kind of keep that together. Is that happening with that kettlebell community in that?
Steve, IKFF, International Kettlebell and Fitness Federation, that was Steve. Like, everything that happened in there, the education was Steve. He has some master coaches and friends and supporter that helped him to keep that community and the education going. We planned a few things of him coming here. He was here 2023, and
Gosh, I just missed him then.
Yeah. You just missed him. I can't remember what time it was. Maybe March or April.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good question. I know his son is really into kettlebells and jiu-jitsu. I know he will pass on the teachings and the knowledge of his father, stuff he knows that maybe no one ever learned on one of Steve's seminar. But yeah, I mean, Steve turned 55, and when he started, it was really old school. Like his time was writing books. The first kettlebell book I bought was a book from Steve, and back then there was no online community, right? It was all printed paper, and then you had, I don't know, CDs and DVDs, and now everything is just online. And yeah, I know he put a lot of content out on his Instagram, stuff that he is recorded and selling at BJJ Fanatics and all those pages. So there's a lot of stuff you can tap into to keep learning from Steve. But yeah, how
you keep all the community together, I wonder, because that's like really important, because it's like that's a knowledge base. Like you can't lose the knowledge base when I think my teachers have been really great at documenting everything, and there is a network we call or a value web that we have that everyone kind of taps into, and but anyway, it's just like some people have to kind of fly the flag there and keep the energy behind it. But I hope that.
Yeah, totally agreed. So I mean, you keep a lot of knowledge by giving it to people.
Yeah.
And people who have the same or similar values as you have, and yeah, they talk your words to their friends and to the people around them. Steve was really good in it. As I said before, a lot of the stuff I learned, a lot of the stuff I was, for example, teaching on the Saturday seminar that you joined, was from Steve.
Yeah, yeah. And so, what's the, because a lot of these kettlebells guys do jiu-jitsu as well. Like, what's the relationship like there between jiu-jitsu and kettlebells?
I do not know the answer. And what I mean by this is the truth. I don't know if there's one right answer. The kettlebell, or let's just say tools you swing, they were always part of any sort of combat sport, right? Like they are clubs and maces, and there's a reason why they look the way they look, because
the weapons,
like a weapon, right? Yeah. So in martial arts, or let's say in combat training, maybe that's a better word. There were always tools to swing around and go overhead and swing it down and stuff like this, So the kettlebell always had a place in combat sport. I think over a period of time, the kettlebells got a little dusty in those gyms because no one knew.
Probably in a lot of gyms.
Yeah. And but yeah, then again, because of Instagram, because of Steve and people who do martial arts and are into kettlebell, that lives again, I can feel. And if we just talk about jiu-jitsu, for example, jiu-jitsu has a lot to do with closing yourself, pulling your opponent in, pulling yourself into the opponent, you're here. And the kettlebell has a lot to do with opening yourself. And that makes it a good training tool to not put the same on top of the same on top of the same until your body is in pain. You cannot just only squeeze and hold. You also have to get long again. And yeah, the kettlebell does that very well. Climbing, for example, as well. I know a few jiu-jitsu guys who climb. So instead of
grip strength too, right?
You reach and you lengthen the tissue that you for the rest of the week kind of close,
Yeah.
So that works well. And as I said before, the kettlebell can give you a lot without taking a lot from you. So a heavy back squat, in my case, for example, always makes me feel like an old man for the next 2-3 days. I never have that with the kettlebell. If I heavy back squat, I can't take low kicks in Muay Thai. It just hurts. And again, the kettlebell is for sure the wrong tool to make the strongest man in the world. But how strong do you need to be in combat sports?
Yeah.
You need to back squat 200 kg? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But the kettlebell is a great tool to build power endurance. And that, I would say, is a good definition of what is happening in martial arts.
Yeah.
It's power endurance, not who's the strongest, but who is still explosive and endured after 5 minutes, after the second or the third round, you know?
Yeah, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. What about the mobility stuff? Do you get into that?
Absolutely. I mean, Anwar is one of my best friends on this island, one of my longest friends. The guy you had on yesterday. It's something that I was always laughing about. Like, why are you spending so much time stretching and getting mobile, right? Why not getting bigger and stronger? But now that I'm a little older, I not only feel the need, but we move so little during the day. I mean, you and I, we sit on a chair right now, and if you think about what your day-to-day life, and my day-to-day life is not the average life, right? I'm in a gym, I'm standing all day long, we training, but the average person never really reaches overhead to get something, or hangs off a pull-up bar, never goes into a deep squat, or even moves on the ground. And now you could ask, why do I need to know how to move on the ground? I say, yeah, fair question. You don't need to do it, right? As long as you can sit and stand and walk and sit in the car and sit on the sofa and sit on the table, you're good. Yeah, but what you don't use, you lose. What you lose always leaves a little bit of pain. And that is something I think about. When you get born, you start on the ground, right? And then we start to walk upright, and maybe we don't spend so much time on the floor anymore. And then one day you have kids. What are you going to do with them? Sit on a table and play? Well, not the first, 5, 6, 7 years, until you maybe play some board games. If your son is down there, if your daughter's down there, and you have to sit on a chair and play with them, that's not the man I want to be.
That's sad, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not the man I want to be. And Jiu-jitsu teach you how to move on the floor. Like, ask anyone outside of our gym, when was the last time you did a forward roll, or a backward roll? Like, it just doesn't happen anymore once you leave school. And it just feels good for the body to do that. And Anwar, with his mobility system, just puts that to another level and systemizes stuff that you can learn just by coming to Bang Tao for a week or getting his online course.
Yeah.
And do a little more. And a little more means, especially when you hurt, when you carry the pain, that's when you need to do a little more.
Yeah.
If you keep moving and...
Well, yeah, no, I've gotten heaps out of that too.
Yeah,
like the two things together, like, I mean, obviously I've got heaps more to do, like we mentioned, but like every time I come here, like the coaching is so amazing here. Like, and there's such basic things, I really just like, I've been a little bit injured, so I haven't been back to jiu-jitsu in a little while, but I'll get back there. But in the meantime, I've just been focusing on the kettlebell and the mobility. And I come back here for a week, and already there's like a bunch of stuff. I'm like, okay, cool, I've got to integrate that. So I've got some homework. Great. And same with the kettlebell. But it's like there's simple things, but it's also very complex in a way.
It's simple, it's complex. Often it's not sexy. That's why we don't do it. But
I'm surprised though that not more of the MMA athletes don't come to the kettlebells or it's the classes are big, but I mean, like, you see how many people are in the MMA class. It kind of, but they're probably so tired by the time 12:45 comes around.
The sport is so complex. They have to learn so much. You have to rest at some point. My class is in the middle of the day.
And it's hot. So
often our guys and girls, they train in the morning.
Yeah, they would have done 8 o'clock.
They would in the evening.
They would have done MMA. They would have done jiu-jitsu. Then they would have done, like, there's a few classes in the morning, right? Yeah. Kickboxing and whatever. And
so much is happening. But yeah, if we go back to Anwar, he's obviously a friend for many reasons, but kettlebell mobility, or his way of teaching mobility, and I would say my way of teaching kettlebell, they fit together very well. I learned through him a few things that I was doing with the kettlebell, coiling and moving and all that rotation. But he taught it in his class, not having a kettlebell in the hand. And you can find
piece them
connections
together, right?
Exactly, you can piece them together. And he is helping me with his mobility class when, I don't know, I have injuries or pain or whatever comes through training in life. And on the other side, he found his way with the kettlebell. And I mean, he probably told you a lot about his story. And the kettlebell, really built him up, and he's really strong.
He's really super strong,
he's
and
really
he's tiny.
Yeah, he's he's tiny. Yeah, he's really strong. Yeah,
Well, like the two of you together, like it's quite funny.
So I think this goes very well. His mobility class, my kettlebell class. We want to do much more together. Also teaching seminars together, where he teaches let's call it the movement stuff, the mobility stuff, and I teach the strength stuff, if you wanna name it. So
that's a good combo.
Yeah, it's a good combo. It's a good toolkit to have once you leave Bang Tao. Or I think it's always good to be competent. And there are so many fields in life to be competent, but we always only think about, I have to build my life. I have to make money. I have to build a house. I have to buy a car, and I need money for the future when I'm sick, and I need to take care of whatever happens when I'm 60, right? But a lot of people don't think about
what's happening now.
And what's happening now in their physical body.
Yeah.
Like if you just have the house, if you just have the car, if you just have a lot of money on your bank account, that is great. Don't get me wrong. But you sacrifice your physical body for that.
Which most people do, right? Like most people that have that probably do.
Yeah, which most people do. And I listen to those people because they tell me, Pete, you need to think about the future. I say, yes, you're right. But having money when you're old is not the only thing you need. Yeah. It's also the physical body, because that's the one thing you just can't buy new. If it's broken, it's broken. You can fix a lot actually, but it's good to fix small problems and not the...
Oh, yeah, totally. That's right. And speaking of that, Pete, like business and stuff, like obviously you're kind of focusing on that a bit more these days. How is that? We're in your shop here, Cotter Sports.
Yeah, my shop and
Mick, who just busted in through the podcast here. And then you're also opening something new.
Yeah, a few things are happening. So, as I said before, you just have to look around. I know exactly the crowd of people who come here, what they need to have a amazing holiday, and on one side, this is Kaito Sports, where you get your fight wear, fitness wear, fight gear, supplements. But then on the other side, you need some healthy, protein-focused food and beverage, which is...
There's another gap in the market.
There's another gap in the market, which will hopefully open in the next... Let's say the soft opening. Let's say I can cook your coffee next week, okay?
I won't be here.
But you won't be here, but I could.
Next time I come back.
So we're opening a place that is called Swag Food Corporation. And there we offer healthy, protein-focused food and beverages. That starts with coffee and your protein shakes and your juices. But we're going to have frozen yogurt protein. We're going to have protein.
Like a
Exactly. You say, I would like to have the vanilla frozen yogurt protein, and then you get your toppings.
Oh, nice.
And whatever you want to put on top, right? We're going to have protein gelato. And that comes a little later in stage 2 after we opened, but we're going to have a proper salad bar where you would come in and say, hey, Peter, I would like to have the large plate. Could I get one serving of the chickpea salad, one serving of the beetroot salad? And as my protein source, I would like to have 100 grams of ribeye, 3 boiled eggs, and whatever.
Yeah, okay, got it.
You come in,
build your own bowl, like a poke bowl.
Exactly. You can build that stuff, and it's freshly cooked on that day. But it's not you order and then the chef starts cooking, and 15 minutes later you have your food. You just come in and you get it. And we're gonna make sure you know your macros, so you know how many calories
that's cool
on that plate and how much protein is on there, etc. And then stage 3 is gonna be meal prep and delivery. So if you come here and, for example, as a weight loss customer or a fighter who really needs to focus on calorie intake, you can do that with our meal prep. Yeah. That is going to be, that's going to happen probably in May onwards.
That's cool. I look forward to that next time I come.
And and then the next one is again with my great friend and business partner Mick. After we opened this place, we were thinking, okay, what is the next move? And we're gonna open Recovery Center Bang Tao, and it is exactly what the name says. It's a recovery center, so you could come to us.
It really needs that around here.
Yeah,
it's kind of there's a real gap there.
Yes, there is no, or I don't know, there is no, let's say, good sport massage. Not that we're offering sport massage, but we're gonna have proper sport therapists. So everyone who's working for us has a bachelor degree, and they can help you. Hopefully not with bad injuries that you come around, but if it happens, we have people there. We want to get a chiropractor in there. You could come and get an IV drip, a vitamin drip, if you feel overtrained or the heat and the exhaustion here. All the way to you do your blood work. And
Bali has a lot of this stuff, hey?
Yeah.
Bali's really set up.
That too. Thailand has that overall a lot, but not in our area. So again, we wanna answer this question: where can I go and get everything I need if I'm exhausted or I want to know my hormone levels? I want to do my blood work. I'm injured. I need peptides. Whatever it is, you will be able to find that at Recovery Center Bang Tao.
And like, what about Bang Tao? Because it's like, I mean, it's every time I come back, it's kind of it changes. You know, it's this new stuff happening here all the time.
And you come back how often a year?
Well, like I come
2 times a year.
I come back here like I've been coming back here every couple of months, like
a couple of months now. Yeah.
Because when my visa runs out, I just go. Well, I'll come back and see the coaches here. But like Easy Bar looks crazy right now. Have you seen it?
I can tell you I haven't been to Bang Tao Beach.
Okay, no worries.
Maybe since a year now. Like, no joke.
Okay, no problems.
Not because I don't like it anymore, but everything is. Yeah, we have so many people, so many tourists, so much is changing, and I love that.
But you're here all day. You want to probably go home.
Once I'm done with work, I need to look for some peace.
Yeah.
Like I'm not on holiday. I can't be in holiday mode 365 days a year. You know. So
I got it.
I haven't been there for a while, but I know it looks very, very different. Yeah.
Yeah, but how have you seen the area changing here? Like, because that I don't imagine there would have been much down here before Bang Tao opens.
Before you came, like my first time was 2017. I remember I came up to Changtalay, which is right next to Bang Tao, and they had some great restaurants and a really cool bar that is called Siam Supper Club. That's where I went. And one part of this area, especially Changtalay and Boat Avenue, it's a little bit, I call it the Beverly Hills of Phuket. The good-looking and rich people live here.
It is like that here, isn't it?
Yes, and you have those fancy restaurants and really nice, right? And Bang Tao is, people don't know, but Bang Tao is a small town. Like I don't even know if town is the right word because it's so tiny. The roads are built for scooters, and now we have Ford Raptors driving through those small streets, and we get traffic jams and chaos. But yeah, I mean that whole land strip here from Serene to Bang Tao. I think within the last 2-3 years, we went from 10 to 20,000 people who live here, and I think this year we had a high in tourism. 14-15 million people came to Phuket.
Wow!
Throughout a year, we had those numbers before, but it was often 12 or 13 million, 11 million, and now it's just right there. So a lot of changing.
A lot of change. Like, and it's crazy. Like you walk around here like Bang Tao in the night and everyone's like got their Bang Tao shirts, or like you just see everyone with cauliflower ear and like
you hear the word Bang Tao obviously on TV now with UFC and stuff.
Yeah, they mentioned it on the UFC the other day.
It happens all the time now, and
because we have some pretty serious athletes training there.
Bang Tao is not just the name of the gym; it's a little village.
It's a little village,
It's a little village, and it's one of the most famous villages in the world now. You know, because of what is happening.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
gym and
It's insane. Like I mentioned this to Anwar last night. Like, are you trying to escape Mick or are you good?
Ja, ik ben een
No,
Max.
he's okay.
Musst du gehen? Okay.
Does Mick speak German?
German, French,
Oh, wow.
Filipino, everything.
Okay,
You have to be careful.
Okay.
Talk
I don't
Filipino.
speak really anything. Any other language really. A little bit of Portuguese. So yeah, so that's Bang Tao. Yeah. So I was saying this to Anwar the other night. Like, it's crazy. Like, when we first came, like the first time that I was here with my friend Jarrett, and it was last summer. We had like GSP, John Jones,
Craig Jones was there.
Craig Jones. That's right.
Yeah.
So it was wild because you follow all these people, and then obviously Whaley's there, and you're just seeing these people everywhere.
You walk around the gym, you see Alexander Volkanovski, you see Peter Yan, you see Aljamain Sterling. Who else did I see today? Yeah, just people you normally only know from the TV if you're
into the
Bang Tao,
if you're into the MMA scene.
Exactly. Now it's pretty cool.
And it's like, because the UFC stuff and the MMA stuff has just gotten huge, like you can't look through, I mean, maybe it's my feed, but like it seems like just with what's going on with the world politically, this, that, the other, it's like, Dana White's very influential now. You've got Joe Rogan, who's very influential now. It's like the UFC is like so center of a lot of this change that's going on in the world, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a simple man. I don't understand world politics and
things
happen. But what I can say from my experiences, when I started Muay Thai, I was 16. This was a real, I don't know, gangster sport, let's say. Like people from the outside who weren't part of the gym I was training at, they thought I'm around criminals, gangsters. Bouncers from the red light district, whatever. Like, some people were worried that I'm gonna get that I'm in contact now with the underworld, kind of. And of course, you have people there who work as a bouncer in a nightclub, right? Not that those are bad people, but that was what people thought. Okay, those are aggressive people who want to punch each other. And thank God, I think, because of the internet, social media, and the UFC, you learn that no, they are actually really nice people.
Really nice people.
Who are super smart, who are educated, and who practice martial arts just because it's part of us. If you know it or not, but your ancestors fought and it's in you. Doesn't mean you have to do that, but very likely if you're open for it and you try it, you will enjoy it. And and then you see like influential people like, let's say, Joe Rogan, who did many different martial arts, but is a lot into Jiu-jitsu and obviously MMA in his job. And people listen to him, and if he does it, then he's a nice guy, he's a smart dude, he makes money, then maybe I should try that
even
too.
Zuckerberg's doing it now.
Mark Zuckerberg's, and look how he looks.
So different.
Like, so different. He looks like he's a good-looking man now,
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's super interesting, the whole transition there. But it's just like my taxi driver dropped me off from the airport the other night outside my accommodation. There was all these, like, I don't know if they were like Kazakhstan or like, where are these guys? Uzbekistani kind of crowd, like just fighters, like all hang, because they're all staying in the building. I'm at all out the front. He was like kind of worried to like drop me off there, and I'm like, no, it's okay. Like,
yeah, they're all good people.
It's all good,
Everyone who trains twice a day.
Yeah.
There's normally not much energy left to cause any trouble.
Exactly.
Yeah, good people.
So Pete, like just before we wrap things up here, what advice would you give to somebody who's maybe living a little bit sedentary? Like some of these people you're talking about, like these busy business people, busy lives, and maybe want to make a change, like a physical change. Like how would they get started, you think? Because what we're doing here is intense, like I just drop straight in here, but like you don't need to do it like that, right?
Absolutely. So first I would say, look into the future and paint a picture of who you want to be. And I also paint a picture of who you don't want to be. That is very powerful, because with everything we do, you pay a price with everything you're doing. You pay a price for everything you're not doing. So I think having a future picture of yourself, and let's say most of the time I can only talk for men, right? Because that's who I am. Like, ask yourself, what kind of father do you want to be? What kind of role model do you want to be for everyone who comes behind you? I think that is a very, very powerful picture for yourself. And if you're not there yet, it's achievable. You can be a great role model for everyone who's looking up to you. And even if your role model is Jean-Claude Van Damme or Bruce Lee, that's how I started, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger, those were my Sylvester Stallone, Son Goku, those were all my role models, and I wanted to be like those guys. But yeah, you have to have an idea of where you want to go, and just figuring out what man or what woman you want to be when you're, I don't know, in 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, 20 years, and who don't you want to be? And yeah, and then there are so many ways to achieve that. If you think the kettlebell can help you for this, awesome. Find a gym where you have kettlebells, or contact me, come to Bang Tao. If you think Muay Thai is the way, it's for sure the way. And if you don't have access to any of that, then
get a kettlebell.
Get a kettlebell, buy some equipment at home, or go to the local gym and just start. And that's the main part. Just getting off your work desk or the sofa or whatever is holding you back, and just go, and you will find people who will support you. Training in general has a great community, very positive people. Find yourself a coach, maybe do a group class. The awesome thing about a group class is you only need to show up. That's the one thing you have to do. Just get on your bike, drive to the gym, and then you can switch your brain off, because
they're going to tell you what to do.
Tells you what to do. Maybe you really like your coach. Maybe he plays good music, and suddenly you have a friend, And that's what I would tell you. Figure out who you want to be. Figure out who you don't want to be, which is maybe even more important, because that can be very scary if you have that conversation with yourself. And then overthink it. Don't overthink it. Just start.
Yeah.
And play. Like I started with dumbbells and barbells and push-ups in my childhood room, and I never thought I'm going to be a kettlebell instructor. That was never my goal. It just came to me, and I played with it, and then I bought books, and then I kept going, and then I found a role model, Steve Cotter, and I said, like, I want to be like this man.
Yeah.
Like, he is, the way he looks, the way he talks, the way he moves. He is a very philosophical man, and I could see so much in his words and in the kettlebell that I already found in martial arts. And so, yeah, strength training in martial arts is one of the many sports that I tried, but one of the few sports that stick with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's very cool. Great advice, actually, especially that bit about deciding who, or like working out who you don't want to be. So a lot of people probably don't really think about that.
Yeah. Like we all kind of know who we want to be, and we think we have a lot of time for that. But
yeah,
once you think like, oh, who am I? Like, I'm 50 years old. I have diabetes because I haven't taken care of myself. Now I have to take that medication.
Yeah.
And maybe my wife left me, or my kids don't want to hang out with me because there's not much to do with me. Like, that's
no vitality, no life force.
That sounds very scary and sad, but it's a reality for
a lot of people. Yeah.
And even if you're in that reality already, you can get out of this. I've seen it every day at my gym. That's why I love my job so much. It's so inspiring, because I'm not just surrounded by world champions. That's a small percentage, and that's awesome. I love that, because they have great energy, right? But then we also have the normal people who come in here, and they solve their problems. And you see, just by coming to this gym, Bang Tao Muay Thai, and by showing up and swinging the kettlebell or hitting pads or doing their first jiu-jitsu session, it's unbelievable what it changes in people's lives.
That's changed. This whole place has changed my life.
Yeah.
Majorly.
I remember when I met you, you looked
completely
very different,
right?
Very different.
And the kettlebells is really all I've been doing. Like, I like to do jiu-jitsu, and I did mention, have had this cut here that I've been trying to heal. I don't want to get staph or whatever. That's a problem with jiu-jitsu, but pretty much just doing kettlebells at least 3 times a week. It's very handy for podcasting. I can rest my microphone here. I don't have the stand
in the front rack.
Yeah, that's right. But it's just made it really accessible, and in terms of like being able to keep up the momentum, and then obviously jumping on your program like online, just take it. It also, I like that aspect as well of staying connected to the team here, because I'm like, oh, I know what they did on Monday. Like I'll be training with them. Maybe even sometimes I try and train at the same time. So like I'm like feel like I'm kind of like there a little bit.
The online program that I'm offering is the exact program I'm teaching at Bang Tao Muay Thai. The only thing that might change...
There's a little bit of difference though, isn't there?
Well, the only thing that might change is, like, I'm not expecting you, for example, to have a pull-up bar in your living room. So if we do something, for example, hanging over the bar and doing leg raises, for example, I would swap that exercise in that online program. So you could do it just with a kettlebell.
Yeah.
So you do a V-up or whatever.
Yeah. Those are hard too.
So
those are killer.
But yeah, then when you're in the community, and especially if you train with me for a while, you can swap exercises. If the V-up is not hard enough for you anymore and you have the pull-up bar, then that's what you do. So, I think people like this a lot because they learn the structure from me, and then they go home and they continue something familiar.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. So what about the Skool? Like, can people just jump on the Skool without having been in Bang Tao, or like without training with you in person? They can just...
Yeah, absolutely.
Or do they have to see you first?
If you don't want, or if you don't need a lot of information, you could, in theory, just click in the link in my bio and join the Skool community.
Yeah, I'll put the links on here.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
But your videos are pretty, like, you put a lot of educational stuff in there. Like, you break everything down, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So once you join the community, all your questions will be answered. But you can always reach me. You can always shoot me a message. And frequently I schedule calls with people. And sometimes we figure out, hey, I don't think this community is for you. So I try to be very honest with people. But most of the time, if you follow me for a while, you exactly know what I'm standing for. And if that's something your values and your idea of training align with, then that Skool community is a great idea for you.
They say just on that, just one of the learnings from those Hermosi things, just what we're talking about that. They say that one of the best things to do for retention on the Skool communities is to do onboarding calls. Yeah. So actually make time for people to do one-on-one onboarding, so that you actually onboard each person into the community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, just a side note.
Right.
I'm going to try and do that with mine.
Yeah, that's something that I always just scheduled in person when someone contacted me. But yeah, maybe
you can just send
Calendly link in there and
for the slots, just for those. Yeah, and you have a few of those a week or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, just an interesting idea. Do you have anything coming up, Pete? Any more KCA level 1s, 2s, 3s?
So yeah, I'm in contact with a couple of gyms around Thailand, CrossFit Chiang Mai, and Koh Samui. I would like to go. A great friend of mine opened a gym in Kuala Lumpur, so I have to give him a call. We were just already talking for his opening that we cooperate, and I do a seminar there. So yeah, if you have a gym, if you want me to come to your city, please contact me. I'm very open for this. Bang Tao is for sure my main base, but I understand that not everyone can come and make a holiday here. So
if you get enough people together, it'd be worth your while, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. So my plan, and it's already happening, that I teach a seminar in Bangkok. I did that last year in F45. I want to go to Singapore, to Hong Kong. I would be totally able to do a seminar every month in a different city. Yeah.
When are we going to do a competition as a team?
Well, I'm going to do this in
Korea.
June, end of June. So there's the Asian Pacific Kettlebell Sport Club Championship.
Is Simon actually competing in that?
So old Simon, a great guy, by the way. He comes to my class every day. I'll just push him. So I just opened the International Kettlebells Conditioning Team Thailand. So if you want to be part of Kettlebell Team Thailand, Kettlebells Conditioning.
Who's the team captain?
Well,
you said we had to talk to you, right? Or is it Simon?
Yeah, Simon would be the oldest man, so you could assume that he's the team captain, but I don't think Simon is responsible enough. So for now, just talk to me and I will help you. But yeah,
it's in May.
No, June, end of June. I think kettlebell sport is a great challenge. It could be way more sexy than it is promoted. I want to help a little bit with this, and as you said, form a team, form a community. So you're not just standing in your garage and train by yourself. And why not having a little bit of a school trip to Seoul, to Korea?
I'd be interested in that.
Enjoy some good food after.
I'd be interested in that. We should talk about it.
Yeah, like in the school, and that's going to happen within the next 2 weeks. I will explain kettlebell sport for the hobbyists, the rookie, amateurs, and up to pros. What are the disciplines you can do? And then I add a little bit of value when it comes to training for that, because it's different kind of training.
Yeah. I'm interested to learn more about that. Is there anything else worth mentioning that we've missed potentially?
No, we talked a lot. I think
that's good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that talk. Thanks for pushing me. I know we wanted to do that before, and we haven't made it.
No, I know you're busy. You got a lot of things going on here.
I'm following you on Instagram, and I believe, especially with that consistency you put into that podcast, that it will blow up. And
let's see.
I also believe that with this podcast you can build a community, because the people you talk to are all doers. They want to achieve a little more. They want to build business, create health and wealth, and those are friends you start looking for. Let's say in my age,
Yeah.
Like I'm not looking for the party people anymore. I look for people who go the same way as I go. So
yeah,
I think
it's a good way to go.
I think what you do is great. Yeah.
Oh, thanks so much, Pete, and thanks for everything too. Like with my transformation, and thanks for investing in me as a coach.
You're more than welcome.
It's been amazing. You've obviously
share it in the School community.
No, I will. I'll let you show my I'll give you my transformation pics,
because
and
it's
you feel
very
free.
Inspiring. Like,
it's
your before and after picture is.
It's crazy, right? My
crazy,
face as well. I mean, my eyes are a little bit funky today, but it's not normally looking like that. But okay, cool. So we'll wrap it up there. I'll put all of Pete's links in the description below, so all your school community and all your bits and Kaido sports and everything.
Kaido sports, everything on there. And
do you ship overseas?
We do, yes.
Yeah.
We do that, and I can just say, if you ever make it to Phuket, please visit me at the gym, visit me at Kaito and the other shops I'm opening. I will always try to take a minute or two for you. Get to know you, and I appreciate the support. And if you don't make it, well, shoot me a message on Instagram, and I'll always try to help.
You can get a little bit of an insight into that as well. I'll put Pete's YouTube channel there too. You can have a look at the people of Bang Tao. That's how I saw you first, actually.
You saw me first
before I came to Bang Tao. I saw your people of Bang Tao. It was the one where you were doing the visa at Blue Tree.
Oh yes.
Because I was I was trying to work out the visa stuff, and you were there doing it.
Watch people of Bang Tao.
Yeah. It's really good. It's funny. So if you got this far, thanks for listening, and like and subscribe to the channel. As mentioned, I'll put all the links in the description, and we'll be delivering you another episode next week. Ciao.
Awesome. Ciao.
Thanks, Pete.
Thank you.